Hi, BiFFs.
Hey, Beth.
Dear Abby.
Dear Kiki.
Captain.
Red flag.
Cheers to you.
Desperate housewife.
Pinot Grigio.
Doesn't want to marry
Loser
you.
power.
Love you like I
Or
love
more
you.
wine.
Don't talk to yourself.
Cheers, Biff. Cheers.
Ill-advised.
Ill-advised. This is ill-advised. Hi.
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 Hello.
Welcome to
Ill-advised.
Ill-Advised, the podcast where two lifelong friends use their life experience
And therapy.
and therapy that they've undergone,
Currently
still undergoing,
to give you great advice.
great advice.
That you are welcome to accept or decline.
Exactly. We are not
At your
professionals.
own risk.
That's right. We are not professionals. We are not pros. And so we cannot officially advise you on anything that has to do with your life. However, Biff,
We give great advice.
we give great advice.
So do with that as you wish.
That's right. It's not our problem if you decide that you want to jump off a bridge because we told you.
That's rude.
Well, if they survive it, then it'll be rude.
Fair.
Please don't jump off a bridge.
We will never tell you to do that anyway.
We'll lose listeners.
We're not that people.
No, we would never do that. So
We may
welcome to
tell you to
Ill-Advised.
throw your boyfriend off a bridge,
All of them.
but never for you yourself too.
That's right. So I'm Ray,
Stephanie.
and we're going to be reading some advice columns that we peruse here and there, and giving our takes on them, and then reading the advice columnist response to see if we hit the mark or if we even agree or disagree. And if you want advice yourself from these two non-professionals, you can send us an email at you'vebeenill-advised@gmail.com. YOUVEBEEN ill-advised.
I was just wondering if you were gonna.
No,
spell it all
it's
out.
hurting my head already. Just please, advised with an S, because that's how you spell it. Fuck Webster.
Webster Mass.
Webster Dictionary.
Oh. Sorry, Mass.
Sorry, Webster. So, guys, we're in Massachusetts.
Anyways, we live right down the street.
We just suffered this wonderful ice or snowstorm
Yes.
where we got God knows how much, because it's different everywhere, all over the city.
Yeah, I got a good foot.
Half of my
say.
car had a foot and the other half had nothing.
I stepped outside and went up good ways to between my knee and my ankle. So
Yeah, it was a big nor'easter. His name was Keenan.
yeah, I didn't know he had a name.
I didn't either until this morning, until I saw it on the news.
Yeah, I think somebody posted something and was like, parentheses. And I was like, oh, hey, Keenan.
Oh, hey, Keenan.
I hope you do that thing we like.
What's that thing we like?
Not snow.
Not snow. Sunshine, please. All the sunshines. Our other little kick on this podcast is that every week we will share what wine we're drinking. Of course, we're going to give you advice over wine. We're not professionals.
Durr.
Yeah, we're just
So
bantering here.
also in your emails, you can feel free to attach your favorite drink
Please.
or wine,
Pleaser.
and we will absolutely try it.
Yes. This week we are drinking a French wine. I think I picked it up in the Bordeaux section, but I don't really know.
What's a Bordeaux?
You know, it's the region in France where they have like cool wine graping
that like-
making grapes.
The red light district?
Sure.
Because that's what it sounds like.
Yeah. So the Bordeaux red light. No, that's a bedroom, right? Yes.
I don't know.
So we're drinking a Chardonnay.
Sounded like it was a dirty one.
It was.
A Boudoir.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're drinking a Boudoir.
We're drinking a Boudoir. Louis Jadot 2020.
Oh, it definitely sounds
Macon-Villages Chardonnay. Is it good, Biff? Because you've been drinking it without
It
me.
is actually.
It's good. We had a bottle of Pinot Noir before this.
Yes, he said bottle. It is good. I do like it.
Oh, it is actually really good.
It is
Yeah,
good.
drink it. We don't know shit about wine, but I'll tell you that it's see-through for a white wine,
Except for when it's not.
except for when it's not a red wine. Okay. Am I missing anything? Do we want to just get into it?
Yeah, might as well.
Right. Okay.
We're
Let's do
kind of
this.
all over the place anyway. So
Doesn't matter. This is our first not practice one, I guess, because we've been
yeah,
doing
technically, yeah.
them for the last month and a half. Just we were going to post those.
I feel like we've done like 3.
We've done 4, and we only missed 1 week. So I think we did pretty good. Or maybe we missed 2 weeks, something like that. But we wanted to post them.
This was kind of a whim for us.
Yeah. And we really wanted these microphones. So you're welcome.
Beyonce. Sasha Fierce.
Sasha Fierce. Okay. I'm going to jump into it.
Sure.
So our first, or I guess our advice columnist this week is Prudence or Prudy from the Slate, slate.com. And they're based out of, I know we talked about them in our practice run, but I don't remember.
I don't either.
I don't know where you're based out of.
Was this the single dad one?
Yeah. Yeah. So they're published by the Slate Group, Graham's Holding Group, and I think they're out of DC. I could be wrong. And just for, a little disclaimer, if you're an advice columnist and you don't want us to read, please just ask us not to use you anymore. Because we'll gladly stop using you. But this Prudy on the Slate is Emily Yoffe. I hope I'm saying that right. Yoffe. And this is November 3rd,
Yoffe.
2014. Yoffe. Yeah, you're fancy.
Ooh.
Yeah, she looks fancy, right? Like
She looks almost like it's Yoffe, but she pronounces it Yoffe.
Yes. And I'm okay with that.
For sure. Right? Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
I wish I could pronounce my last name a different way. Greeny.
Grenay. I don't know. I Americanized my last name, so it doesn't...
Aguirre.
No. Aguirre has one R.
Okay, to who?
To America.
Didn't they pronounce Aguirre at your graduation?
No.
What'd they say?
Aguirre.
No, they did not.
They asked for phonetic spelling, so I gave them the phonetic spelling.
They pronounced your name wrong somewhere. They said Aguirre.
Oh, I'm sure. 100%.
But it was like something like your graduation.
Maybe. I mean, I've had so many of them. It's probably one of them.
It must have been the one with Shorty.
Oh, so the one at the
they
Mount.
Said Aguirre.
Yeah, probably.
Because we all kind of just was like, is that Ray or is that different? And then you walked out and we went,
there he is. Ah! Okay. I went to college, guys. Stephanie's in school for psychology. Yes. I mean, we're just missing hits left and right here. That just makes it all the more charming, right? Yeah. You guys will listen again, right? You're all nodding your heads.
Please.
Yes, you're welcome. All right. So the question is, or the write-in is, I gave birth to a beautiful baby who is now 7 months old. A bizarre rumor went around that I actually had twins, and I adopted out the disabled child and kept the healthy baby.
What?
This is not true, as I would have definitely noticed another baby coming out of me. At first, I laughed it off, but after months of evil glares, outright rudeness, and weird questions, it's no longer funny. I don't know how to prove the non-existence of this other baby, and some people seem intent to believe what they want to believe. My husband is outraged and has even considered legal recourse, although we can't trace the rumor starter. How can I clear my name short of posting my entire medical file on social media? Not a mother of twins.
What on earth? How does a rumor like this start?
I have no idea. This is going to be like some petty high school vendetta bullshit.
She had twins. Like, who gets to say that?
And she can definitely tell if one or two came out.
Right.
Like, did you question that?
There's a great chance that a doctor is going to know if you're pregnant with twins long before you give birth to them. Yeah. There are definitely instances where it wasn't obvious or they didn't know. There has definitely been cases like that. But, like, who gets to say that, like, oh, she definitely had twins, even though nobody knew she was having twins?
Yeah.
Including herself.
She didn't know she was having twins. And her husband's pissed, huh?
Well, that's just weird.
Yeah, that's a strange rumor.
I just want to know how that even starts.
Like this, it starts definitely within your circle.
That definitely feels like high school.
Yeah. Like, definitely, you must be 18.
Oh, she really had twins, but like one of them was handicapped, so she gave it away.
I don't think we can use handicap anymore.
I'm so sorry.
No,
what is
it's
the
okay.
Proper?
I don't know. I think just disabled.
Okay. It's good to know because I'm in school.
Yeah. And it's good to know because we want you guys to correct us too, please.
Please. I obviously need it.
We don't always know. No, I just recently
this.
found that out. I don't think handicapped is PC anymore unless you're talking about a parking spot.
Okay. Well, I definitely wasn't talking about a parking spot.
Damn right.
So.
Another non-existent baby, though, does that count? That's the point, right?
Right.
So
I would love to know how she heard this rumor. Like I just really want to know how this rumor even started because
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So short of posting my entire medical file on social media, how can I clear my name? I don't think you need to.
Well, that was my first thought.
Yeah.
However, she clearly feels like she does. Like, this is important enough for her to feel like she does need to kind of do that. Obviously, where it's disrupting her. God forbid her baby grows up and thinks my mom got rid of my twin sibling. Right. Because they were disabled.
Yeah, well, I mean, the baby will know what's the truth and what isn't. But
how? How will the baby know that? I remember being in womb with my sibling.
Right. I mean, if she believes her mom, I guess.
It's just a strange rumor. It's super weird.
It's a strange rumor to float. Like, get a fucking life. But then if she's able to go back and kind of find out who started this rumor, then it's just hearsay, right? Because unless she can prove that somebody started the rumor, they put it in writing or something.
People will just always believe what they want to.
It'll always be hearsay.
So
that's why I'm saying, like, maybe she doesn't have to. Maybe just, like, live your life and don't worry about those people.
They're either going to believe it or they're not.
Right.
Whether she...
And those people who are close to you and know that you didn't do it, and that's all that matters.
I feel like she obviously lives in like a close,
like a tight-knit community,
small town, or like a gated.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Where like that kind of stuff is kind of a big.
Or she needs to look out
that does affect her
of the people in her circle that she might not necessarily have to trust, or she should watch out who she's trusting.
No sense.
Yeah.
If I saw a girl that was pregnant,
this sounds like somebody who's really jealous of her in some form or another.
That was my whole thought. Yes. Is that like...
So I'm not off base thinking that?
Yeah, no way.
Okay.
That was like one of my very first thoughts was like, this person is obviously super... Maybe she can't have kids or had kids and things didn't work out or just whatever. And she's just super... Especially if they're in a type of community, I guess, that's like a big enough deal that these type of rumors are going to go around and she feels the need to address them. Like, what's that show? Desperate Housewives.
Oh, Jesus.
That's how I feel about this.
Yeah, like a whole bunch of people with nothing to do.
Yeah, like rich,
like overprivileged.
Bitter, yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Is
that our official advice? Like, fuck the haters? Because I really don't feel... How do we go about this one? Like, if you had sent this into us, I'm pretty sure Prudy has us beat already. Because I can't...
It's important enough for her to address. So I guess the advice wouldn't be to tell her to not address it. You know what I mean?
Right. But I guess it's more like
take it by this.
Take it by the circumstance. I think if it's the people who are close to you, and if they're close to you, they love you, and then they'll believe you for what you say, or maybe that's it. Maybe your close circle knows better than that to follow that information. You know, is it really sullying your reputation as a human? Maybe, but you're not going to know until you get out there and start actually telling people your side of the story other than that. Because even if you get down to the bottom of finding out who it was, it's only just hearsay. Like, it's so circumstantial, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
I also feel like there really isn't any other way to address it than posting your business on social media.
But do you know you hit your target demographic if everybody knows? Are you friends with everybody? You know? I feel like they're giving attention to something that isn't true.
I was just thinking that, like, I feel like if she went out of her way to, like, debunk this rumor, it would only make her look more guilty to the people that want to believe this.
Yeah. It's just more fodder for them to just be like, yeah, she's just trying to protect herself. I say just live your life.
Because I feel like if this was me, obviously I don't want to compare. Everyone is their own selves, but if it's in general, typically if it's something that's like not true, then like people are just kind of like, all right, whatever, like that's not true. And then like the guilty people are the ones that like get defensive and whatever.
I say just do you. Like, respond to your family and your close friends who ask if they ask. I don't think they would if they're close to you. And then, take every day by day.
Yeah, because if you talk to, the word gets out. Like, oh, Cindy talked to Lucy, and Lucy said that wasn't true, so.
Right. Fuck Cindy and Lucy. Or Cindy.
I was going to say, I should
just
use
Cindy.
Lucy. Lucy's my therapist, and I love her.
We keep Lucy.
Shout out, Lucy.
Fuck Cindy. All right. Do we want to read the response? I don't think we can go any further.
Yeah.
There's already a word in here I don't know.
Oh, great.
Great.
I'll get on Google.
What a weird, pernicious situation you are in. Did you figure out which word I don't know?
Weird.
Since you are getting strange questions, that gives you an opening to address this directly. To the next person who makes this appalling insinuation, just say, my husband and I have heard there is an ugly and false rumor going around that I had twins. I did not. And if you can help me to get the source of this slander, I would really appreciate it. We're thinking of bringing legal action. Tell this widely, especially to the blabbiest people in your circle. Let's hope that the truth starts getting around. It may even shake out a name of the original source. If you do find out who spread this lie, you can go to a lawyer and get a cease and desist letter with a warning about further legal action delivered to this sicko.
I like it.
I like it too. What the fuck? Ours is very rudimentary compared to that.
I was close when I said that, like, it could eventually trickle down. Like, Deborah told Janet.
Lucy and Cindy are, like, out of this now.
Well, I didn't want to use Lucy again. Having a harmful effect, especially in a gradual or subtle way.
Oh, pernicious.
Pernicious.
Pernicious? Oh, maybe pernicious? Yeah.
Pernicious.
Pernicious. That was good. Well, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that one.
I liked the advice, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially saying things like...
Oh, no, I like the advice. I'm just not sure about, like...
out who said this, because I'm going to fucking sue them.
Right. I mean, that definitely gets the word out.
And also in this type of group setting, that's definitely something that people would probably like, oh God, no.
Right.
I should stop spreading this pernicious rumor.
Nicely done, Biff.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I think rumor covers pernicious, but you did very well.
Well, no, because it's not a noun.
Oh, true.
It's this pernicious rumor.
Right.
This harmful rumor.
I guess a rumor could be true or false, huh?
I don't know, but adjective is a describing word.
Your face, the seriousness. I don't care. It sounded great. Pernicious is great. And we need to add it to our daily vocabulary.
Spreading this pernicious.
Right. You have to describe the rumor. That's why I'm asking. Like, it can be a good rumor too, right? Like, rumor has it, you got a promotion.
Rumor has it.
Do we want to do the next one?
Yes.
All right. I recently was asked to join an established book club. Overall, it's a fun group. They were all politely aligned to the left. My husband, however, is very active in Republican causes. I don't lead with this, and we don't read books that would require it to be discussed. However, one woman regularly makes snide remarks about politics in general, my husband specifically, etc. I don't take the bait, and everyone else there seems to like me. How do I get her to leave politics out of it? Picked on for my political persuasion.
You don't.
Well, politics don't have a place in everything. That's my take. I think that's one of
the golden rules.
Right. And I think that's something that you and I had discussed before in one of our practice podcasts. Like, political affiliation was always some sort of a divide, but it never had the social divide that it did when we had Trump. It is what it is. And this podcast is not necessarily a political one, but the question is.
Amen to that. It will never be.
It will never be. It will never be. How do I get her to leave politics out of it? I think you just need to be blunt. If she's making specific comments about her husband.
I think I'm confused how politics is coming into this book club.
Yeah, she just makes political remarks in general. My husband specifically.
But what's a general political remark?
Honestly, you can turn anything into a political conversation.
Can you give me an example? Because you know that I'm not the most political in general.
That's true. That's very true. And in some ways, I admire that about you. You could, for example, and it's just because I looked at your couch, say, go furniture shopping, and then you're talking to the salesperson and want to find out where the couch is made, and they say China, and then that turns into a whole debate over we're shipping jobs overseas and American workers are being neglected and we're not giving jobs to Americans, and now are you Republican?
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
you can really turn anything. Even those rings on your fingers could be a political conversation. Were they ethically sourced? Was the metal ethically sourced?
I don't know.
Me either. That's why we're better off not knowing sometimes.
Ignorance is bliss.
Amen to that.
And my rings are cute.
They are totes cute.
So I don't care where they came from.
I wish you guys could see her face right now.
All right. So what was the question? How does she get her to stop?
Yeah. How do you get her to leave politics out of it?
I think you just kind of just ignore it in any way.
You open your mouth.
Like,
I don't think you ignore it. I think it's bothering
for
her.
Somebody like that.
Sorry, we're pouring wine. Some things are more important.
My face is like right in the microphone. I think for somebody who feels so strongly about their feeling and like can't see the other point of view, like their thought and feeling, and you know, it is what it is and this is what's right and any other opinion is wrong, they don't do well. Like they're wanting you to
react.
Yes.
I want to agree with you.
Say something about it.
How does that come out? So I don't think that necessarily the left or the right is the problem here. I think this person knows that.
No, I just mean people with strong political
affiliations or
views.
Right.
You know, like my mom. There's no.
But your mom doesn't bring them. Well, not to me at least. Hasn't brought them up.
I could tie her religion and political.
Okay, you could. You totally could.
Yeah.
The way that she does. Okay.
But my point being that like her belief is her belief, and
that's the end of it.
That's what it is. And confronting that or questioning that or acknowledging that in any way
will only make her defend it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I feel like just completely disregarding the specific political point of it, if you can, and just, you know, just act like she didn't make it political if you're able to, like if the topic, you know.
Okay. I think like for me, like I wouldn't be able to kind of ignore it only because she'd be like calling out my husband. You know what I mean? So I think that I would.
If you want to brawl with this bitch for talking shit about your husband, go get her.
No, don't go get her.
Go get her.
Don't go get her.
Go get her.
We are not responsible if she presses charges on you.
And she will.
Knock the bitch out.
Because she's a lefty. God damn it.
Don't leave fingerprints.
God damn it, Karen.
I think it's not necessarily like how I would take it. I would just be like
be the bigger person type of situation.
Yeah, well,
because some people there's just no getting to.
I feel like being the bigger person can go two ways. Either you can kind of ignore it and just carry on, but if it's really bothering you, I think it's more of a fact of being like, I'm not my husband. I'm not here to be political. I'm here to read a book and talk about it because that interests me and that's why you're here. So either we can bond on this level, on our common interest, or we can just leave politics out of it altogether. I'm going to leave that for you to choose.
I love that. I just feel like sometimes certain people, there's just no talking to. You know what I mean?
It's true.
There's no.
It's so true.
That is almost feeding.
They'll hold anything against you that they want to.
Yes.
And you know?
There is.
And that might not work. But she's just not of having an open mind at all, period.
Well, that's what it sounds like. And that's why I think just completely disregarding it does a lot more damage than confronting it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there are some situations that would
there's some people that will like, oh, shit. Like,
yeah.
He's right. I like almost gonna like feel embarrassed for this.
But there's no need to shame people for their beliefs. There's just no need for it. This is why we're the United States of America. Like, I don't give a flying. I don't align Republicanly.
Yes, that one.
That one? All right. I don't align that way, but I do understand that there are point of views out there that are different from mine. And it's not my job to criticize them for what they are.
Right or wrong.
Again, let's put the Donald Trump situation aside.
Let's try to.
You know, I didn't necessarily agree with George Bush, but he did some great things for our country, you know.
Again, I'm the wrong one to be having.
I would just Obama the fuck out of our country forever if it were up to me. But exactly, right? But that's a whole other story.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my advice is if you feel like this is somebody that will kind of wake up if you confronted them, then yes, absolutely what you said. I really loved what you said. But if it's somebody that you feel like is just completely, dare I say, ignorant.
Knock a bitch out.
Like, don't. Just ignore it and act, you know, like, just respond like you are Beyonce. And like.
Just like smile at her, flip your hair, raise an eyebrow, and then go back to the book club.
Like, just answer her question like you are Beyonce.
If all else fails, kidnap her babies.
Yeah, because she probably had twins and sold one of them.
That's so great. That's so great. Oh my God. I can't. That you just shat. No, I can't. All right, it's fine. I just had an internal struggle. I'm so sorry.
Just shat?
No, I just did.
You said you just shat.
Oh, well, then you did. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to read the answer to this. How's that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
Because I didn't shat. I moved in my seat.
You know you didn't shat. All right. This is the flip side of the letter from last week from the closeted Democrat young woman bullied by her Republican father. Oh, I wish I'd read that one. This obnoxious book club patron is certainly making a good case for her political affiliation by continuously insulting your husband. It's too bad the people who asked you to join the club haven't pulled her aside, but you need to, first, buy her the book, The Righteous Mind, Why Good People Are Divided by Politics and Religion by Jonathan Haidt, Haidt. Read it, tell us about it. Hand it to her and say, since you're both in a book club, you thought that this would speak to the problem you two are having about your differing political views. I'm already liking this.
That bitch ain't about to go read no book.
No. I'm going to read the rest of it. But, like, it's clever. You know what I mean? Book club, read a book.
Yeah, I guess that's what I...
About the dueling minds. Like,
yeah.
That's cool. Then say that you would appreciate if she would stop bringing up politics and denigrating your husband. Explain that hate shows how people can look across the divide and understand each other better. If that doesn't shut her up, the next time she makes a snide remark, go to the people who invited you and explain you tried to handle this, but you would appreciate if one of them had a word with her about the position she is injecting into a lovely event.
Yes, I feel like that was really close to what you said.
Maybe, but I mean, it was a confrontation of sorts. I feel like it was still very passive. Like, not the book part. I liked the book part a lot. That
was funny.
But that last part about like just going to the people who organize the club, like they're not going to boot somebody. Okay, in a perfect world they would, or they would talk to that person and say like, you know, like,
yeah, we don't.
You're making us uncomfortable
about that part,
right? But I feel like this is a one-on-one problem. I think just talking to whoever this moderator is, if there is one, if it's not just a group of friends that say, let's get together. You know what I mean? I feel like that would just be involving a majority. You know what I mean? And then it becomes like a political fight.
Right, because the people...
You know, like, oh, well, we align Democrat, all of us, so you're the odd man out. Right. So really you should think about if you're comfortable.
What she's saying.
Right, we don't talk to her about it because... Right. Mm-hmm. I think it's a one-off situation. Like, you need to handle it with that person directly. So I'm going to disagree with Prudy on that second half. But I think her first response, her first half, like, I think it's insightful. I wouldn't have thought to apply their circumstance or their situation their setting to the situation. You know, the book club thing, I think that's really clever, and I think it might actually be effective.
See, I don't.
To suggest it to the whole book club, though.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. It's for sure clever, for sure. I just don't know how effective it will be. I guess I'm struggling a bit because I'm kind of stuck on, like, I guess maybe personal experiences, people that, you know, that I know or that I've talked to, or just in general, they just are kind of very closed off. And, like, there's any approach that you take is just completely a dead end. Like, there's zero, whether you're nice,
we're also used
kindness,
to,
or
at least in our friend group as it has evolved or degraded, however you look at it. Literally. But those people who refuse to look past what they believe is true, even without hard evidence in their faces. And this isn't necessarily a political affiliation. This is anything in life, interactions between friends.
Well, I guess that's why I'm definitely feeling biased. So it's hard for me to kind of... My advice, I guess, is more based off of my bias with my experience of these people. No, I don't like to say these people, forgive me. Certain people just are kind of stuck in their ways. And it just felt very much by her, you know, constantly turning something into, you know, something she feels or believes in. That, like, she may be one of the kind of people that just are like, you know... Right. My way is my way, and there's no other way.
Well, like, just say in the big picture that her husband is like a Republican candidate for governor.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's not a reason to alienate or degrade another human.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's like
be a good person. Just be a good
wrong.
human.
Like, I'm right, and anybody who doesn't believe in me is wrong.
If that was the case, there would only be one side in the world.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's not that.
I think that it's and it sounds pretty internal, this debate. I feel like me in high school going like, oh my God, you smoked marijuana. I'm totally not talking to you.
I was more scared to be stoned around you than my dad.
Like, oh my God, you smoke. Like, I'm so...
I used to literally tell Bear, like, we can't smoke. I'm going to Ray's house. But if it was any other
I always
day,
knew.
I'd be like, all right, let's smoke because we're just going home.
And then you guys would show up at my house.
I know. And I would get paranoid because I'm stoned.
I have grown.
Like, Ray's going to know
I have grown. I'm no longer a sole source Democrat.
Oh, yes. Yes, you absolutely.
If that's even a thing, I think I just made that up.
That sounded good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What do you guys think about this one, actually? I would love to hear other people's opinions on it.
Sure.
Because we can do a whole episode based on your opinions. You know, in the future, if you guys like us, I guess this is still episode 1, right? Even though it's our episode 5.
All right. No, yeah, we always want to hear your thoughts, input, advice.
Your applications. Like, it's totally... It makes sense.
Absolutely.
If you make us laugh, bonus points.
That won't be hard to do.
No, it won't be. Especially if Biff drinks the Chardonnay before you get a chance.
Cheers.
Did we tell them that we're the Biffs?
Oh, no, we didn't.
We're the Biffs.
That's BiFFs.
Yeah, the I is lowercase.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Except for when it's me, then it's uppercased.
There's no me and Biff.
No, there's an I. An uppercase one. Yeah. That was my point.
Oh, dick. Dicks. All right.
Take this dick.
I'm keeping that in there. Yes,
I bet they've seen the movie.
Oh my God. This is explicit.
Wanderlust?
I don't remember. Wanderlust sounds right. Wanderlust?
Wanderlust.
A-N? Not O, right?
Correct.
Did I even watch that?
If you didn't watch the movie, you've seen the clip on Facebook.
I must have.
Of him in the mirror. You won't take this dick. Dick.
All right, ready?
Yes.
This might actually play into our high school ties. I haven't read it before. We should probably do that type of research beforehand. We ain't got time for that.
True that. I just did this to us last week.
That's right. We ain't got time for that. All right. I'm a junior in high school and have been playing lacrosse since I was in 2nd grade. Because my father makes me play almost year-round, the sport has lost its thrill and I have come to hate it. My skills have gone down and I don't fit in with any of the girls on the team. If I quit, it would be no problem for my school's team because they have plenty of replacements. I want to do... Okay, there's a typo in here. I want to be in the school play in the spring and I'm signed up for the musical in the winter instead of lacrosse. I approached my mom with this plan and she said she and my father both hated it. I love the plan to go into the theater, the musicals and stuff.
Right.
I love theater so much. It's the only thing keeping me alive at this point.
Aww.
The sport is killing me physically. It causes me lower back and shoulder pain. And mentally, games ramp up my anxiety, feelings of worthlessness and depression. How can I convince my parents to let me quit the sport I hate and do what I love? Parents' sport versus my theater.
This is so tough.
I feel like this is a Lifetime movie. Maybe not Lifetime. Hallmark?
Yes, Hallmark.
Hallmark. They don't swear. And they're all Christian, even though they never say it.
Lifetime doesn't swear.
They don't?
Maybe shit.
Ass? Okay. They don't even say shit.
Actually, not even shit. Bitch.
No. Bitch?
I think bitch.
Well, if they say
like,
bitch, they say shit.
The crazy stepmom. You're a bitch.
They play that after 10 p.m.
Yeah. Especially on Christmas Eve. Because I sat with a bottle of wine watching them.
Oh my God, you should have called me.
I did.
No, Christmas Eve we were at my mother's house.
All right.
We all got struck with COVID.
Oh, this one's hard because it's...
How do I convince my parents to let me quit the sport I hate?
She said she's a junior?
Yes. I think she needs to just be honest with her parents.
She did, and her mom said they don't like that.
They hated it, but she needs to be all right.
Yeah.
I didn't read this.
Clearly. I mean, it's obviously a huge deal. It's completely affecting her on every level. Physically, mentally, emotionally.
They're supposed to be her support system, though.
Well...
And sometimes parents are pushy.
Yeah.
I know. You know.
My thought went to you're probably way more...
Mine was more firsthand. Yours was on your
relate.
Older brother and sister, right?
Mine was more, regardless of what my parents were saying, I was telling them to like, no, I don't care.
Right.
I wasn't concerned about my parents' feelings or thoughts about things.
Meanwhile, the first time I got a
never
B
that
plus, I was grounded.
Right.
That was rough.
Right. That's when my first.
Well, my brother and
thought was
sister
that, like,
barely graduated.
Yeah,
and
I
they were
definitely
fine.
knew that you could relate to this more. My initial thought would be like, fuck them. Don't play no more.
But I had a parent just like this too.
Well, that's why.
That I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Right.
Well,
Oh, wow.
don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Right.
And it's like,
Like, I
all right,
don't
I'm
care
going to
what
be
you want.
homeless. So
This one's tricky for me because I grew up differently. I didn't have this fear, I guess. I didn't have any serious repercussions if I told my dad, I don't really care if you.
that's true.
So.
That's very true.
Yeah.
I'm looking back at high school and
Right.
you were like
Did what
the
I
golden
want.
child.
No, I wasn't.
Well, you know what I mean.
I was not the golden
child. You were like the favorite. You were daddy's little girl.
I've always been daddy's little girl. However, I was not the favorite or the golden child. I just didn't have any
Oh, you're totally right.
repercussions.
You were not the favorite or the golden child.
The fuck
No,
was
you
it?
were
I'm
not.
still not.
Oh my God. I'm just realizing how the favorite and the golden child are on opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, I think my oldest brother was the golden child. and
Right.
My
Youngest brother is the favorite, right? No? Is that changing? That's what
feel
it was
like-
growing up.
I feel like Jake and Bo, my two older brothers, are like the golden and the favorite child.
Oh, really?
Tyler was like the baby. Tyler's the baby.
Okay.
And then my two oldest brothers were the golden and the favorite.
You guys play into that stereotype very well, the baby.
Not you guys.
Well, I mean, like your
No,
family.
yeah.
Sorry.
No, yeah,
I didn't
for
mean to generalize your people. The whites. I mean, the greens.
Thank you. I was going to say, excuse me, the grenades. Thank you very much.
Grenade.
Yeah, so it's tough for me to relate to this because whether my parents cared or not, it didn't make a difference to me if my dad was like, well, I don't like that idea. I'd prefer you to stay in softball. That didn't matter to me. I was not going to play softball and I didn't want to. Matter of fact, I did that with soccer.
Oh.
I tried soccer, didn't like it, never played again.
Oh, I just did that with sports.
Regardless of my dad wanting me, which I don't think he cared at the time, but whether he did or not, I didn't. And I didn't play soccer again. So this one is going to be a struggle for me.
Like my parents always encouraged us to do what we wanted to do, as long as it was what they wanted us to do. You know what I mean? Right. My mom was less strict about it. My dad, it's really funny in hindsight. He really expressed his discontent and his unhappiness toward whatever direction or whatever feelings we had, being my dad. But he was almost, sorry, Dad, powerless about it because my mom is the one that had the balls, so to speak.
Right.
And I think my mom was more hard on me academically, but I really feel like right here, honesty is the best policy. I think homeskill it should just be with her parents. And I'm going to channel my inner teenager right now. And this isn't necessarily professional advice. I mean, it's not professional advice to begin with, but it's not professional in the sense that I'm going to tell you to go against what any other adult would tell you. And you have complete autonomy over your own body.
But it doesn't feel like that.
It doesn't
in
feel
high school.
Right, but it doesn't, and it's, well, I'm going to say yes and no.
Also, I'm tempted to bring in a cultural type of...
Right. And this is something that we discussed.
This is like you
Stephanie
do
and I have
not
discussed
go
this because it's
against.
hard for us to separate the information that we have versus the information that we think we're missing.
Right. There's some cultures that you do not...
That's true. You don't disobey your parents.
You do not, period.
And I had two cultures to balance, and I didn't necessarily obey them all the time, but...
You paid for some of that.
I did pay for some of that. But we had an unconventional situation, too. So there's so many things that play into it.
There's.
And my parents haven't been together since I was 4 years old. I think you just need to plead your case to your parents and tell them this is what you love and you're no longer fulfilled. And if that's not something that they're willing to hear, I think your actions are going to speak volumes. Stand up for what you believe in and stand up for yourself. I don't think that this is as simple as, I don't want to eat spaghetti,
What you believe in and stand up for yourself, unless it's going to be detrimental, I guess.
I don't know. This one's hard for me. And it's hard for you because...
Honestly, my first thought was to like go talk to like a guidance counselor or something. Maybe
yeah. That's a
somebody
really
that
good
could
idea.
bring the parents in and kind of like
Serve as a mediator.
yeah.
That's
like,
actually
hey,
a really good idea.
you know,
I
and
didn't
if they're
even think
not
of that.
listening to the kid, then maybe they'll listen to another adult. Because this is clearly a big deal. This isn't just like, but mom, I don't want to go to church tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like,
You're
this
going
is
anyway.
like affecting them
Right.
on a very large scale.
And it could have a
if the
huge
parents
lasting
are
impact
already
on their
right.
relationship, you know?
Right.
She's a
And
junior
on
in high
her
school.
mental
Like,
health.
she's ready to go. Homegirl's ready to spread her wings and fly. You want to make sure she talks to you after graduation.
Right. That's why I think if maybe she could see a guidance counselor and maybe, you know, having another adult say, hey, look.
That's a good point.
I get that
really
was like
like-
my only.
I really like the guidance counselor thing. I'm going to go with that. That's my idea, people.
Because we is one.
That's right. Oh, kindred spirits. Okay. So the response. Your parents are supposed to be your allies in life, but I hope you can find support among some of the adults at your school. Hold on a fucking second. Did you read this before I go forward?
I so did not.
You dick. You dick.
That's my text message is open right now.
That's right. Your parents had their own shot at being lacrosse stars and they didn't make it. Sorry. It is not their right to impose their failed dream on you, especially as it is a physical and psychological nightmare. And the great news is that you have something you love that makes you feel happy, engaged, and accomplished. You need to walk away from lacrosse. Sorry, that wasn't supposed to be French. You need to walk away from lacrosse and walk on the
It's the French
stage.
one.
Oh, I like that. Walk away from the lacrosse and walk onto the stage. So talk to your guidance counselor. I fucking hate you. You're full of shit. You read this whole time. So talk to your guidance counselor, the head of your theater, and the coach, and get advice from them. Maybe one of these people can set up a session for you and your parents so that they can understand with a neutral party there how you feel. You are heading toward college, and hard as it is, you need to start asserting your independence and following your own path. In the end, your parents cannot make you take to the field. Let's hope that once you get past the bluster and disappointment, they will be reasonable people who end up giving you a standing ovation at the curtain call. Great. So I got like a quarter of that down right, and you got all of it.
Different perspectives.
This is why we're doing this.
Right.
That's brilliant.
I thought you were going to have much better
No,
advice
I never would have thought
being
of
on
the
the
guidance
outside looking
counselor.
in. That makes sense.
But like this is in the things that we've done in our practice sessions too. It's kind of the thing where we talked about not like opening our minds to the bigger picture, you know. And this is a big one.
This was a big one because I think I was, for the first time, able to like, oh yeah, there's like cultural things that could come into play. There's
And for
You
me,
know,
like I don't
there's-
think cultural because it's my
there's
life.
kids
so I
that
don't-
are like genuine, I don't want to say fears, but I don't have any other word.
Fears
but, like,
might be the right word.
Yeah, like if I tell my mom that I don't want to play lacrosse anymore and I want to do
lacrosse.
acting, that's absolutely scary for me. And like I don't know, I guess maybe being an adult now can see that. And I guess also being an adult, it's like if as a child you feel like you can't talk to an adult, like you need to bring in an adult who can.
Right. I don't know. It was really good nonetheless. I don't think I can separate the cultural part from it because to me, being
lived
raised
that.
in the
lived
U.S.
that.
by parents who are immigrants, you know, from Bolivia and Brazil, to me, it's like, I don't think I can separate the cultural from the domestic. You know what I mean? So that's a fascinating story right there. I like that. Prudy, you did very good. Mm-hmm. Although when we were doing our practice sessions, Prudy,
Yes, we love her.
we love Prudy. I don't care who writes for Prudy.
Yeah, I feel like
we just love Prudy.
Right. All the advice that we have read,
Yeah.
liked a lot.
I guess that's a good place for us to stop. Did you have therapy this week, Biff?
I did, yes. I did.
Any revelations you care to share?
Yes. However, I would like to edit it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if I know how to. You know me. I
Well,
have a
lucky
filter.
for you, we get to edit this before we can.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Right.
The magic of technology.
So I did kind of reach a revelation in a certain situation in my life that I was deeply emotionally connected to. I am now able to, A, see the depth of the attachment that I had. But more than that, I also now can see how that attachment happened, but also how I'm not really attached to that anymore. So I'm like disconnecting from a very
Toxic.
Not even toxic, just a very strong attachment that I've had for a long time.
Okay.
And it was kind of like, I didn't realize the depth of like the attachment that I had to
Like
this.
how much it
Was affecting
grappled onto your identity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you very much.
That's a good one.
Yes. That was great. Yeah, exactly. And I'm very much feeling like I'm outside looking in now. So I'm able to
That's
see
actually
like,
a really good perspective.
like, oh wow, like this is where you were kind of getting stuck or whatever. And like now it's like, oh, I'm kind of, I'm not getting stuck there no more.
Oh.
Fuck your couch.
That's funny.
Yeah, so it was a really good session.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
It's actually a good one and a very important one.
Absolutely important. Yes.
I also had therapy this week. And
Shout out Fred.
Shout out to Fred and Lucy
Yeah,
for being
absolutely.
integral parts of our everyday lives and being very, very, very tactful and successful in getting us to see the true us. I had a good therapy session this week, and he helped me see that what I was using to generalize a lot of my internal anxieties and or fears, because I think they can exist separately, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So what I was using to generalize them, I was using them as a crutch. And
Explain crutch.
actually, I'll be glad to explain with a direct example, not a specific one, but a direct one, where
We like direct better than specific.
one of the things that my therapist and I, with Fred and I, say is, when in doubt, do nothing. And in the position that I am in my life and the way that I feel in so many respects of it, he agrees with when in doubt, do nothing. Because when you're unsure, then doing nothing is...
Don't make any rash decisions.
Right,
type of
exactly.
thing? Gotcha.
Right, so you're not making any decisions on impulse. But he thinks that I'm carrying that to a degree where I am holding myself back.
Meaning what?
That... How do I do this without giving away a direct example? Because I really don't want to admit it out loud.
So don't if you're not ready. When in doubt, do nothing.
No, when in doubt, do nothing. Exactly. But
You mean just like...
there are some things in life that doesn't apply to. And I'm trying to make it work.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. And one of them might actually be my career. And yeah. And a very strong... I have strong feelings about it that I haven't yet reconciled.
Do something about it, so you're using
That
figure of
as a way to
speech.
not move
Gotcha.
forward or to not better myself.
hence crutch.
So that is something that I am trying to reconcile and internalizing on so many levels. And that's all I got.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's definitely good.
We'll find out once I
mean,
actually
think
move
it's
past that.
I think it's a big deal to recognize if we're using crutches, as you mentioned.
Right.
That's a big deal because that does stunt us
Yes.
unintentionally.
Yes. And yours is really good too, because I loved that you were able to explain that you're now from the outside looking in.
Yes.
And that's actually a really big self-revelation.
That was huge. It was huge. It was just as big for me as finding out how did you explain it? Me being so attached, like my identity being so
like identifying who you are
as a part of this situation.
It's big. It's like not seeing the forest for the trees, but being the tree in the forest.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden you're like,
prolific.
holy shit, I'm a fucking tree.
I got roots, bitch.
Like, who are you motherfuckers? Yeah, so definitely, both of them were really big for me.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, I mean, every therapy session for us isn't a milestone, but it's definitely a step in the right direction.
Absolutely.
And we talk about
Baby
them
steps,
like
total
as if we
races.
were talking about them with our therapists.
Literally.
But that just talks to our relationship too of 20 plus years
I was
of
just going to say
friendship.
a lifetime.
Yeah. So write us your questions, anything you want advice on, or anything you want us to read too.
In general.
And drink.
Comments, concerns,
We haven't finished
corrections.
Macon-Villages Chardonnay from Louis Jadot.
Bordeaux.
Bordeaux. Oui, oui.
La Croix.
2020 Totes Vintage.
Oh, we're getting up there.
That's right, bro.
Last year was
$16.99 a bottle.
Ooh.
That's right.
I feel bad drinking it.
Wait till we break into the 20s.
I'm just kidding.
Run,
I don't
bitch.
feel bad drinking it.
No, that's right. And until next time, cheers.
Until next time.
Thanks for listening.
You have been ill-advised.